Who would have known that a guy like me that doesn't do drugs, doesn't drink, and doesn't smoke will love a movie about hard drug users and heroin addicts? Gotta love it. Alright guys, how are we all going? Today we are doing a review for the new Danny Boyle movie, T2 Trainspotting 2. Now before I continue in my review, I have to say that there will be spoilers for the first Trainspotting, so if you haven't seen the first Trainspotting, please make sure to go watch that. So without further ado, let's review Trainspotting 2. So Trainspotting 2 takes place 20 years after the first Trainspotting ended. Obviously, Ewan McGregor's taken the 16 grand or 12 grand as he gave 4 grand of it to Spud, and he's returned to Edinburgh after that time to, I don't know why he's back. I really don't know, but he's back in Edinburgh and we see him interacting with all his old friends. You've got Sick Boy, you've got Begbie, and you've got Spud, and all of them are great, including the new characters that come along as well. Now, the first Trainspotting, as I said in my intro, had a lot of drug use, a lot of hard heroin use. You actually saw the needles going in, and in 1996 that must have been a big deal and highly influential to see a movie like that come out. So to now see Trainspotting 2 come out, it's been so long and it's just been such a wait. I can imagine people that actually go to this movie, and even the people in my cinema are like, oh, I remember watching this back when I was 18, back in 1996, and it was so good and so cool. I'm just imagining them like, they have waited 20 years for this movie, and here I am, and I only saw the first one 3 days ago, and I'm still super pumped for Trainspotting 2. I've got to say this, I don't think it deserves a rated R in Australia. This is because it doesn't have that much drug use. Sure, it's got lots of cocaine use, but you don't actually see much needles actually going to the skin. Actually, no needles get used at all, at least not much. Which is good, I guess, because they don't want to show that on screen. It's a bit, it's a bit confronting, but, that's the way Danny Boyle wanted to do it, and that's the way it happened, so you know what? I'm okay with that. Let's talk about Danny Boyle's direction. Danny Boyle, I was such a fan of his direction. It was so fast-paced, the first one, and so witty and so funny and dark when it needed to be, and really emotional when it needed to be. This second one is no different. I love the mise-en-scène used by Danny Boyle, especially in the use of shadows. Obviously, when Ewan McGregor, who is the main character, as Mark Renton, returns back to Edinburgh, there are shadows used to explain things that have happened in the past 20 years that he didn't want to, just explain to the audience in like a voiceover, because, lots of movies do that nowadays. Say the Star Wars prequels, they tell you things, but they don't actually show it. I like when a movie actually kind of shows you something, but doesn't actually tell you about it. You just have to kind of figure out for yourself. And it's just really good filmmaking, in my opinion. Danny Boyle, I was so happy with his direction. Just the visuals, just the colors in this movie really made it for me. It was just, and some of the camera techniques used, I've never seen these camera techniques before. And I loved the way everything was just placed. I loved the way everything was filmed. I loved every single moment of this movie. I don't think I had a down point in this movie. I was smiling from start to finish. I was on the edge of my seat sometimes. I got nostalgic. And Ewan McGregor. Let's talk about Ewan McGregor. He has the high ground now. His performance is so good in this movie. He's off the heroin now. So this movie is about kind of him getting off the heroin and trying to get the others kind of off it, but not really, you know what I mean? He has this monologue in the movie about, choose life and how that all originated. And that is one of the best monologues I think I've ever seen in a movie ever. I think it's up there with Samuel Jackson, Ezekiel 25:17 from Pulp Fiction. It was so good. I got goosebumps watching it, and I couldn't imagine the people that actually went and saw the 1996 Trainspotting. It was just so cool to see this movie. I really, really, really enjoyed it. And Robert Carlyle, he is such a good actor. I remember him in 28 Weeks Later, and he's also in Once Upon a Time, I think, the TV show. He plays such a scary character, and his reprisal of Begbie is such... No, not Begbie. Oh, it is. It is Begbie. What do you know? His reprisal as Begbie is just so good. It's so scary, and it's just... I loved it. I just loved every single character. Spud, Sick Boy, just everyone. I loved seeing just how they've grown, how they've changed. It's everyone. Oh, I can't gush enough about this movie. The only real negative I guess I have is some things didn't get, I don't know, explained. There were kind of a few plot holes, and I hope they don't make a third one. I think it looks like, I'm not going to spoil anything, but I don't know. They might make a third one, who knows, because there's kind of some plot points. You don't know what's going to happen. The music in this movie, the music is on point as well. Probably not as good as the first Trainspotting music, but still really good. I'm going to have to rate this movie now. I am going to give it, obviously, amazeballs. This movie is amazeballs. I loved every single moment of it. The only thing that really, at the start, you couldn't understand some of the accents, but that's a little nitpick because it got better and it was fine. I think it could use the subtitles, it would have been funnier, but that's fine. So guys, if you've somehow seen Trainspotting, please tell me what you think in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. I'm still thinking about it now. I'm so happy with it. Yeah, if you do end up seeing it, I definitely recommend watching it. Watch the first one first, though. You may be a bit confronted with some of the imagery and some of the things that happened, but I promise you the second one's more clean and just it's more clean, I'll say that. So I guess I'll see you in the next video.